Welcome to Cold Psychology. Let's look at the parts of your mind you usually avoid. I know exactly what you have been told your whole life. You have been told that you are too sensitive. Toughen up, they said. Stop taking things so personally. You have likely spent years apologizing for your tears, feeling like a broken machine in a world of steel. But I am here to tell you that the world is wrong. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak. You are not a mistake. You are what we call a supersensor. While the average person navigates life in a blurry, standard definition haze, your brain is recording every second in 8K resolution. You aren't too much, you are just seeing more. To understand why you feel like an alien in your own skin, we must stop looking at your fragility and start looking at your hardware. This isn't just a personality quirk, it is your biological architecture. Research shows that your neural pathways process information with a depth that the other 80% of the population simply cannot access. Think of the human brain like a camera. Most people's brains are recording at 720p. It's efficient. It gets the job done. But your brain is recording in 8K resolution. Neuroscience calls this low latent inhibition. Most people can walk into a room and ignore the hum of the air conditioner or the subtle tension in a stranger's voice. Their brains filter it out to save energy. But your brain treats everything as relevant. You process the texture of the air, the mood of the room, and the unspoken grief of the person sitting next to you all at once. This is why you get overwhelmed. It's not because you are fragile, it's because your system is capturing details that others are literally blind to. Now, why did evolution keep a trait that makes life so agonizingly intense? If being sensitive was a weakness, natural selection would have crushed it out of the human gene pool millennia ago. But it didn't. To understand why, we must look at the ancient tribe. The majority were warriors. They were bold, aggressive, and risk-taking, essential for the hunt, yes, but a tribe of only warriors is a tribe that dies in its own shadow. They would rush into a storm they didn't see coming. They would eat the berry that looked sweet but carried a lethal toxin. The tribe needed a different kind of survivor. They needed the royal advisor. That is you. You were the one who sensed the shift in the wind before the gale hit. You were the one who noticed the subtle lie in the eyes of a neighboring messenger. Your weakness was actually the tribe's most sophisticated early warning system. But this gift comes with a brutal price: hyperactive mirror neurons. These are the cells that allow humans to simulate the experiences of others. For the average person, empathy is a choice or a fleeting thought. For you, it is a physical invasion. You are an emotional sponge in a world of toxic spills. It's exhausting. You might feel like you are overthinking or hesitating when making decisions. You beat yourself up for not being as fast as the warriors. But here's the cold reality. You aren't slow. You are engaged in deep semantic encoding. While others are reacting to the surface, you are unconsciously predicting outcomes and analyzing meaning. You aren't hesitating because you're confused. You are hesitating because your brain is running a high-level computation to ensure the best possible survival strategy. Think of a dandelion. It is resilient. It can grow in a crack of a sidewalk, in a toxic wasteland, or in a beautiful garden. It doesn't care about its environment because it lacks the hardware to perceive it deeply. Most of the people you know are dandelions. They survive anywhere, but they are common. But you are an orchid. If you try to grow an orchid in the same harsh, noisy, and toxic sidewalk where a dandelion thrives, it will wither, it will struggle. For years, you have blamed yourself for not being a dandelion. You've hated yourself for needing silence, for needing to retreat into a dark room when your RAM is full. But here is the biological secret: vantage sensitivity. Research shows that when an orchid is placed in the right environment, with the right light and the right soil, it doesn't just survive, it blooms with a complexity and beauty that a dandelion can never achieve. You don't need to toughen up to survive the sidewalk. You need to move yourself to the greenhouse. History is filled with these supersensors who were mocked until they were needed. Consider the case of the canary in the coal mine. Early 20th century miners took these small, sensitive birds into the deep dark. The miners, the warriors, couldn't smell the colorless, odorless methane gas. But the canary, its system was so delicate, so sensitive, that it would collapse at the first sign of danger. The miners didn't call the canary weak, they called it a lifesaver. You are the canary in a society that is becoming increasingly toxic. Your collapse is not a failure, it is a warning. It's a lonely place to be, isn't it? Knowing that you feel the tremors before the earthquake hits. Stop trying to install a tougher filter. You cannot change your biology, and frankly, the world doesn't need more numbness. We have enough people who feel nothing. But here's the uncompromising truth. Being a supersensor is not a ticket to a happy life. It is a sentence to a lifetime of high-resolution pain. You will always see the lie behind the smile. You will always feel the grief in the room. You will always reach your limit faster than the crowd. Remember the 8K mental model. You are seeing the world with a clarity that is both a gift and a curse. Here is our quiet pact. Stop apologizing for your tears. Build your boundaries like a fortress. Honor your need for silence as if your life depends on it, because it does. The next time someone tells you that you are too sensitive, do not argue, just smile internally. They are recording in 720p. You are seeing the truth in 8K.